Before we start the video, this video is sponsored by BenQ, and they actually sent me a ScreenBar e-reading lamp, and this is what it looks like on my setup right now. So it actually looks really cool. It's pretty much just like a regular lamp, but it goes on top of your monitor, as you can see on my right hand side monitor, and this is what it looks like. There's going to be 4 buttons. There's going to be the brightness button. There's going to be the temperature where you can change the color of the light. There's the default button and the power button. So this is what it looks like when you're switching the brightness of the screen bar. You can change it from really low to really high depending on how you want it. So it's really good if you're doing your homework at night, then this could definitely help you. You can change the temperature as well. You can make it warm to make it yellow. You can make it blue, make it more cooler, the more cooler color. And there's the default button that I just pressed, where it just puts it back to the default settings of the screen bar, and obviously the power button to turn it off and turn it on. Alright, so if you guys want me to do a giveaway on this screen bar, make sure to hit that like button and let's try to reach 1k likes. Alright, and to participate in the giveaway, comment down below why you want this screen bar. Alright, and I will choose a random winner in the comment section below, and make sure you subscribe as well. Alright, now let's go on to the video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over another tier list that I haven't updated in a while, and I think it's time for me to update it and tell you guys which heroes are the best for this current patch. Since a lot of heroes got revamped, a lot of heroes got released, and a lot of heroes got buffed and nerfed. Alright, so before we start, I just wanted to clarify some things so none of you are confused. Okay, so if you go to the bottom left where it says heroes, and then if you look at the leftmost side where it says tank, fighter, assassin, marksman, mage, support, I will base off the tier list based on what the role the game gave them. Alright, so if you go to assassin and you see Leslie is gonna be in the marksman / assassin tier list, as you can see on the role right here. I will base it off that. Alright, maybe with an exception for Chuk. Chuk is gonna be, it only says fighter for Chuk, but I will put him on the tank category as well, but he is the only exception for this for that. All right, everybody else will be on their specific tier list based on what the game gave them. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because last time I put Chu on the assassin tier list because you could go damage Chu, and that's technically considered an assassin, to be honest with you. A lot of people are complaining. People are dumb. I don't know why people are being smartasses, but so I just took it out. I just base it off the game so nobody's gonna argue. Okay, so let's go over the tier list. Here we go. As you can see, we are on the Masha patch. If you guys are watching this after the Masha patch and on a more updated hero, then obviously it might be outdated, but it won't be that much outdated since the meta doesn't really change that dramatically patch per patch. It changes every like what 5 to 6 patches or so. It really depends on what the game does and on who the developers nerf and buff and who they revamp. So it really depends on that. But let's go over this. If you guys don't know what a tier list is, it pretty much shows you which hero you should be picking in most situations. But this will not be counter picking will not be accounted for on this tier list. Alright, so some heroes will be weak against other heroes, obviously, but the tier list shows you the heroes that are the best in the general situations. Like in most cases this hero is going to be really good, in most cases this hero is going to be really bad. So hopefully you guys understand that. Plus, disclaimer, this is my own opinion. If you guys disagree with my own opinion, that's fine. But if you're like, I don't get it, like some people search for a tier list and then they freaking argue and debate on the comment section, and they force their opinion into the content creator's opinion. So what's the point of looking for a video if you're gonna force your opinion over a content creator's opinion, right? There's no point. You're just being a smartass at that point. Don't look for a tier list video if you're just gonna argue. Okay, so that's just a disclaimer because I don't want this. I already did 2 tier lists and it happened both times, so I don't want it to happen again. It's ridiculous. If you guys disagree, then you could respectfully do it in the comment section below. You don't have to be a smartass about it. Alright, so let's go over this and a quick explanation on how my tier list works. So the highest tier would be S tier, going down to A, B, C, D, and then based off the color of their name, based off the color of the name, it shows the difficulty on how hard to master that specific hero. So let's say their name is green, it's going to be really easy to master that hero. If their name is yellow, it's going to be alright, it's a little hard. And then if their name is red, it's going to be really hard to master that hero. Alright, now let's move on. The first tier list that we're going to go over is the Marksman tier list. Alright, so the S tier, it's going to be the ban-worthy heroes really. Sometimes, most likely Kimi gets banned. Granger doesn't really get banned, but people fight for that Granger pick. Now in the current tournament and the current rank system, people fight for that pick since Granger and Kimi are arguably the two best marksmen right now in the current patch. Alright, so they're gonna be up there on S tier. On A tier we have Kari, Claude, and Bruno. Since Claude got nerfed, he can only teleport twice now instead of 3 times. That's a big change because that's less mobility and less survivability. Then Claude will be on the A tier. Used to be an S tier, but now on the A tier. Bruno got revamped, so now he's a lot stronger. I believe that he should be in A tier. He scales pretty well early game to late game, and he also has AoE damage with his ulti, so he's actually not that bad now. Kari is still there. Kari's like a tank melter, so obviously she's gonna be on the A tier. Everybody else pretty much stayed on their same spot. Layla still D tier, Yisun Shin C tier, Roger C tier, Leslie C tier. The thing about this is Roger's like single target, Hanabi has AoE, Clint has AoE, Moskov has AoE. Like you can hit multiple targets with these 3 heroes compared to like Roger or Yisun Shin has like a global ulti, but it doesn't affect it that much. It doesn't affect the team fight that much because the damage is not that much. Leslie is single target as well, so that's why she is in C tier. Irithel has AoE damage with her ulti. Mia has multiple target damage, so that's the difference between B tier and C tier. Most of these guys will be single target, most of these guys will be multiple targets. Alright, Bruno, I get that mostly he's single target, but his single target crit and basic attack damage is just insane, therefore he's gonna be A tier. Same with Kari's single target, but the way he melts is just ridiculous. She melts the tanks really well compared to these other heroes below her. Alright, and obviously Layla is in D tier since she doesn't have mobility. She's single target except for her ulti, and yeah, that's about it. I don't know. If you guys need more explanation, you can ask it below in the comment section. Let's move on to the Mage tier list. So here we go. I put Hearth, used to be in A tier, now he is back in S tier since he is banned a lot still, a lot. So even though he got nerfed, he is gonna be in S tier. Still, Esmeralda got nerfed, still gonna be in S tier. Now the biggest significant change here is Valir. Valir used to be in C tier before the revamp. Now he's gonna go up to S tier. After the revamp, Valir is just broken right now. I'm telling you guys, if you guys have not gotten a chance to play Valir in this current patch, because he is actually insane. You can just keep spamming your first skill. He has really good AoE damage, and even though he doesn't have a lot of mobility, he has push on his second skill for survivability, and he has a free purify on his ulti if you do that, and his range is just insane. Everybody else pretty much stayed. Zas is also a significant change after the revamp. Before he was in D tier before the revamp, but after the revamp he is now in A tier because you could actually solo lane with Zas, and it's really hard for them to kill you since you have pretty much 2 big turrets that they need to kill for them to kill you, and you can actually move those turrets back to your tower if you're being ganked. So that's why Zas is so good, and plus he's a really good pusher. The only bad part about Zas is he doesn't really have any gank capabilities since his mobility is not too good. Okay, so Zas will be up there. Lilia used to be an S tier before the Masha patch, but after the Masha patch, after she got nerfed, she's gonna be an A tier, right? She used to be ban worthy, but she got nerfed. Everybody else pretty much stayed where they are. Cyclops used to be in C tier, but now he is gonna be up there since his spell vamp got up to 100%. Who else got changed? Everybody else pretty much stayed where they were. Faramis is a new addition to this tier list. Again, the game considered Faramis as a mage, and that's why I put him there. And as a mage, Faramis is just trash. Don't use Faramis as a mage. He's more of a support, really. He does hurt as a mage, yes, but if you play in mid lane, it doesn't really work that well. Alright, if you play mid lane, he's more of a support. So on the support tier list, he's he's not that good either, but compared to the other supports. But let's move on. Let's see what's up with the assassin tier list. Okay, so for the assassin tier list, we have Hayabusa and Goshen at top. Since the reason why Goshen is up top here is every other assassin is really not that good. Hellcurt got buffed, but not to a point where he could solo lane too well. His early game is still super weak. Goshen is a mid laner, so you can't really compare Hellcurt and Goshen gameplay. Hellcurt's not gonna go mid lane, right? Hellcurt's more of a split pusher and like obviously an assassin because he's in the assassin tier list. His global ulti is good. His damage got buffed, but his like early game, if you play him on based on tournament pickings and drafts, if you play Hellcurt, they will just bully you early game. You really need help if you're a Hellcurt before pre-level 4. Where Goshen is always mid, and people at mid lane always has help from tank, so he doesn't have any problems, right? Hayabusa could solo. Obviously his split push is insane. If you know how to play Hayabusa super well, then Hayabusa is actually really OP, but hard to master. Selena is still in the A tier. Lapu Lapu actually went up to, I believe, B tier to A tier, since a lot of people play him solo lane now, and a decent amount of people actually play him in the tournaments as well, sometimes depending on the drafts that the enemy gives at them. Fanny still B tier, could be good but really risky pick. Lancelot still B tier. Natalia, everybody else pretty much stayed where they are. Leslie is in the D tier because he's more she's more of a marksman rather than an assassin, really. But yeah, that's it for the assassin tier list. There's not a lot of assassins apparently in the game. The pet, like Mobile Legends used to be an assassin like heavy meta back in like season 6, but now it's a mage meta, more in the mage meta in this current patch. Okay, everybody got nerfed. All these assassins got nerfed a lot. So let's move on to the next tier list. The next one is going to be a tank tier list. So the top 2 tanks right now, it's going to be Kufra and Grok. They're the most banned. But like I said earlier, Chu will be on the tank tier list, even though he is only he's only considered a fighter. So he's an exception. He's the only exception since Chu is such a versatile hero. I wanted to put him on the assassin tier list because his burst is actually insane. You can just get one comboed by Chu when you get knocked up and kicked, and that's what assassins do. They go for the carry and they kill him in one combo. But since a lot of people complained last time, people are being smartasses, I'm freaking putting him in tank anyways. Alright, since I play tank Chu. So for A tier, Akai, Minotaur, Lolita, Chu, Franco. Franco actually went up from B tier to A tier since a lot of people use Franco to actually counter Esmeralda, so she cannot purify or anything, she can't be helped, and she cannot like stack her shield if Franco stuns Esmeralda. Esmeralda is considered a tank in the game, so I put her in here too. But as a tank, Esmeralda is not very good. She's good as a mage, but as a tank, she's not good. Alright. B tier, Gatot, Johnson, and Tigreal. Tigreal is okay, but really hard to play in this current patch since there's a lot of people that can interrupt his ulti, and it'll just get cancelled super easily. Belric used to be in A tier. The reason why Belric went from A tier to C tier is because not a lot of people pick Claude as often. More people pick Kimmy and Granger, and they only need 2 marksmen to really draft for both teams, because not every time Kimmy gets banned, right? So the less Claude pick, the less Belric pick that's needed. That's why he went from A tier to C tier. If there was a Claude pick, then obviously Belric is still good. Hylos still there. Masha, the newest hero, is gonna be in C tier because she doesn't really have any CC, to be honest with you. She may have a slow, and that's about it, and she has a disarm. But as a tank, I think Masha is more of like a split pusher / objective destroyer. So, but as a tank, like if you put her on team fights, she's pretty almost useless, to be honest with you. She's just gonna try to go for the backline and try to kill them, because she's annoying, she's super fast, and her basic attack actually hurts. But CC wise, not very good. Everybody else, Ballman, Uranus, Hilda, not a lot of CC, that's why they're gonna be in D tier. Alright, let's move on to the fighter tier list. So for the fighter tier list, Xborg still up there on the S tier, still gets banned even though after the nerf. Teresla gets banned sometimes in the PH server, in NA server it doesn't really get banned, but since I watch tournaments, Terizla is actually super strong. Early game is super insane. CC super insane, and Tank Terizla has a lot of sustain. Chu is still in the S tier as well. For the fighter tier list, you can build him damage, you can build him hybrid, you can build him tank. So versatile, and that's why he's in the S tier as well. Leomard still in the A tier. Thamus, I put Mincy from B tier to A tier because I feel like he's super underrated. Like if you imagine, like you can imagine this, all right? Chu and Leomard are really good picks, but if you pick Mincy to counter that, they get shut down like super hard. Same with Hayabusa. If people play Hayabusa solo lane, that Hayabusa will get shut down because if Mincy ultis after Hayabusa ult, that Hayabusa won't be able to teleport back. And that's why Mincitar should be in A tier. Not really in the S tier though, because he is only good at specific picks, in specific situations. Lapu, like I said earlier, on the assassin tier list, went up a little bit, gonna be an A tier. Kaja is considered a fighter based on the game, so I will put him here as well. Okay, Kaja is in here as well. Kaja still gets banned here and there in the NA server, in the Philippine server, a little bit for he gets banned a little bit for Kaja, so he's gonna stay in A tier. Not really in S tier though, as a fighter, not in S tier. For B tier, we have Martis, Johed, Badang, Aldous, Ruby, and Masha. Masha's more of a, like I said earlier, objective / split pusher fighter. Not really on the like team fight kind of side. Badang went up from C tier to B tier since he did get buffed a little bit, so he's gonna be up there. And people actually pick him in tournaments, so he's like borderline A tier, to be honest with you. Badang could be A tier / B tier. But I put him on B tier, but yeah, just based on my opinion, he's B tier, but he's actually not that bad. He's like borderline A tier. C tier, got Argus, Zilong, Alpha, Hilda, Sun, Bane, and Dairoth. Some people play Dairoth solo lane, not a lot of CC, to be honest with you. His damage is like not that good, it's just average damage, kind of like a Hellcurt, and it's not even that strong. Hellcurt's damage is actually stronger than Dairoth's. So I'll put him on C tier. D tier gonna be Bellman, Roger, Freya, and Alucard. So let's move on to the support tier list. So this is gonna be the last tier list. After this, we are done. We have S tier Kaja because he still gets banned. Here, I was really having a tough time whether I would put Rafaela and Estes on S tier, since on the PH meta they pick this and they ban this shit like a lot of times. They either ban Rafaela or they prioritize Rafaela pick and Estes pick, depending if they have like an Esmeralda / Terizla. But I put him on A tier just based off my opinion, to be honest with you, because when you pick Rafaela and Estes, you lose the capability of having map pressure, and that affects your rotation. Since you don't have two front lines, instead of having two front lines, you only have one front line, since you already have one support when you pick Rafaela and Estes. So I will put them in A tier. Alright, Diggy's still pretty good depending on the situation. Like let's say the enemy picks Gwyn, Diggy's super good. Like any CC at all, Diggy's still good. Minotaur still good, obviously. Lolita is still good against Kimi, Lunox, and all the range heroes really. And his ulti, her ulti, you cannot see from the bush anymore. If you're hiding in the bush, they can't really like notice unless they realize they're getting slowed. Then that's when they know Lolita is actually ulting them. But like the mark that Lolita shows, the triangular mark, it doesn't show anymore if you're inside the bush and if the enemy doesn't see you inside the bush, right? So Angela went from A tier to B tier because I feel like she doesn't really impact the game as much as Rafaela and Estes at this current patch. So she's gonna go down a tier, to be honest with you. Faramis is alright. The resurrection is pretty easy to counter, to be honest with you. You can just as soon as Faramis ultis, you can just back off and wait until his ulti goes away and then re-engage the team fight, and that's why Faramis is gonna be on B tier. So not a big fan of Faramis in this current patch. So hopefully you guys learned something, and if you guys do have your own opinion, then you could feel free to share it below. But again, please be respectful, don't be a smartass. If you're looking for a tier list video and you disagree with me, it's fine, but you don't have to be a smartass about it. You know, you're looking for a tier list video for a reason, to learn from me. I don't know why you would click on this video if you're not trying to just figure out which hero should be in the meta, based on my knowledge that I know and based on what I've seen from tournaments and stuff like that. Alright, so that's it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like the video, and share this video if you want to help a friend out by figuring out which hero is the best for each specific position. Alright, so that's it, guys. Peace!